A ship is sailing across the ocean in the dead of night. Suddenly, a crashing and grinding sound wakes Florian, tree druid who had fallen asleep on deck. When he awakens, he looks around and sees, or rather, he doesn't see, because everywhere around this boat has been engulfed in complete and utter fog. Somebody, presumably the captain, rushes out onto the deck, screaming, "What the hell was that? There shouldn't be anything out here with no lighthouse!" And as the people sort of come out and try and figure out what's going on, they realize the ship has run aground. Florian and a group of a few others descend from the ship to investigate. As they drop onto the ground, they find, even though it is the middle of summer, that the ground is covered in snow.
Ho, ho, ho!
I'm in a happy mood. I can't do it.
No,
I'm doing. Give me a.
Okay, real quick before we start, we need one of those on-air signs that light up whenever we're recording.
Also, we don't need that.
As DM, I second that. We do need that.
Okay, as the owner of this room, I veto. And now everybody introduces their characters.
My mouth is full. Skip me.
Hi, my name is Cameron. I'll be playing as Luna Tea Leaf. She is a tabaxi fighter. She's also Karma's girlfriend.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm going to be playing Grim, the Grim Reaper and Rogue. He is also an Aasimar.
Hi, my name is Matea. I'll be playing Florian Elwood, the Bard, level 10 Bard, Earth Genasi, Druid mix.
Those were all completely different words from the ones that we used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
You're a tree.
You're a tree.
Florian's a tree.
Florian, tree, away from.
Hey, yeah.
I'm Aldrion, and I'm playing a character that I also named Aldrion. He is
He's a self-insert.
Isn't everyone?
He is a drow rogue, and he likes to steal and kill things.
That's very valid. And I am Ace, the acting DM.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Or Happy Yule, or whatever the heck you celebrate.
Yeah, whatever.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Merry Schwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa!
Really? It's a real thing.
Merry winter holidays.
And I'm Ace, the only adult who had to clean up the greenhouse the day after he was yelled at by Carlin for leaving a bunch of trash in there.
I was gonna come and do that.
It's fine, I'm joking. He did do that, but he wasn't, like, mad.
Okay.
And Elf's probably the most important person in this whole entire group.
Thank you.
The person that
Those
keeps
are the ones
everybody
sitting
sane.
in all the fire saying this is fine.
So, as you stand on this beach, trying to figure out what's going on, and also why there's snow, is it snow? Let's find out. Before you can begin to investigate in the many odd and strange ways you would tend to do were you a member of the Greenhouse Tavern party on any given day, you hear some commotion in the distance. You don't know from where, but you can sort of hear the direction it's coming from.
I say north-northeast.
Just go to the south.
I say we follow that thing.
Okay.
Noise, you mean?
Yeah.
What's his name? Grim.
Grim makes a good decision.
This is like a choose-your-own adventure book. Flip to page 4. Oh, I died.
The Yeti in the cave.
Flip to page 4, then flip to page 5. You can do what you want, just please stay alive. Thank you, I'm making riddles. I'm a green dragon, or a golden, which one of the dragon does the riddles?
I don't know, it's a sphinx?
Anyway, I'm the one who's unrushing us. As you follow the sounds of commotion, you find... Please don't wave the paper directly next to the microphone. As you follow these sounds of commotion, what you find, as light sort of begins to appear in the distance, is a small village where everybody is just sort of out. And this is odd because unless the fog is also very, very dark, it is like midnight right now. and everybody is out, and they're not a happy crowd.
I go up to one of the townsfolk and start up a conversation with them. Excuse me, sir, but what is going on here?
What do you mean? Do you have presents?
Presents? No.
Well, then why? Well, are you from here?
I immediately pull my hand out of his pocket.
Are you from here?
No.
Oh, well, that explains it. We are on the Isle of Ikhephu, and here we celebrate the Ensday, which is a day of sharing and love, and it's got a very, very rich cultural history behind it, but I have a feeling that you guys don't have time to have it all explained to you right now.
Oh no, we have plenty of time. Please.
Yes, do go on. I'm
You're
not even
like-
here. What am I doing?
That was a very strange ghostly voice who just spoke to us.
It was the gods.
But anyway,
I'm the god of gods of gods.
during the Ensday, or at the very least the night before, every townsperson places a wrapped gift before every other townsperson's house. This is not difficult, as we are a very, very small town. But what is difficult is the fact that all of our presents are gone, and somebody took them.
I suspect a green man.
You're in the conversation.
How terrible. Do you know,
I know, right?
do you know who could have possibly done this?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I have a real serious suspicion about old Bob up in the cabin up north. But if it wasn't him, well, it could have been Skipper.
Hold on. Who's this Bob you speak of?
Tough, evil Bob. He looks a lot like you, actually. I don't know what that means metatextually. Maybe it was an insult. Continue the conversation, Thane. Graham, continue the conversation which you were in.
So, who do you think is more likely to have done this? Bob or Skip?
I guess I don't really believe in the occult or the mystical stuff, but if I believed in it, I'd go for Skipper.
Could you lead us to him then?
Well, do you... Oh, right. I forgot again, you're not from here. Skipper isn't exactly somebody we track down, or really somebody I don't think anybody's ever tracked him down. He's sort of a myth around here, says he's a little, if there was... You ever played fantasy Pokemon?
What is that?
Okay, well, for those of you who have, he looks a little bit like Sableye. He's a very, very small, big head, very large eyes, pointy ears. We think, actually, the person who designed him might have been from here. And, well, he's, as long as, you know, we know, the tales have said he's been around here getting up to high jinks, stealing all of our things, taking away our valuables and shiny things, and, I mean... I don't believe in him. That's dumb. That's for kids stuff. But, you know,
Boogeyman.
it's just something doesn't feel right about all this. I don't even think Uncle Bob is here. I think he might be dead.
Oh,
I don't know. Somebody got buried last week. I wasn't part of it. You know, small town, you keep to yourself. Anyway,
Then why are you talking to us?
well,
then-
that is
then
a
again,
very good question. And then he turns and walks back into the village. Good job.
The only reason why he's talking to us is because Grim talked to him first.
I want to try and see if I can find where this Skipper might be. Do you know what that would be?
You say to whom?
I, as a player,
Oh.
I'm informing the DM
Well-
of what I want to do.
You
That's
can,
how
but
it goes.
as it's the middle of the night in the snow, a woman walks up to you and says with a very distinctive southern accent, with a very distinctive southern accent, I heard y'all were new here. I know it's not really, the most trustworthy of things to do, but I got a house which has a lot of extra room. This is southern Ikhephu, so if it don't sound like southern to you, then that's just because how it is around here. I don't know why I felt the need to specify that, but you guys can stay there. I can tell you're a disheveled bunch. Are you guys like covered in water?
What?
You guys stepped off a boat.
Yeah, that's
Did it
true.
run aground? We could have jumped onto the land.
Okay. Well, maybe you're not. I don't know. It's pretty misty. Maybe you just walked for a while to get here.
We would greatly appreciate that, ma'am.
Is there candy?
Yes, there's a ton of candy. So, skipping...
As we're walking, I'm going to take one of my platinum pieces and, like, set it in her pocket without her noticing.
Okay. Thank you for doing that to this NPC that I literally just invented and am not any use for in the future. You feast upon candy, and then you fall asleep, and you wake up the next morning, and though it is brighter outside, there is still mist and snow everywhere. It is still extremely snowy, misty. You guys sleeping in a bed did not clear the weather. This is not fantasy Minecraft.
Boy, if it did.
So, what would the party like to do?
Like I
You
said.
can.
Can I go build a snowman?
You can go build a snowman. You can go build a snowman. You can look around. You can try to explore the very foggy place. You can look for this mysterious skipper thing. You can go out to visit this Bob. What are you doing?
I am going to find the highest point in this city. And that would be a...
B.
14.
Okay, well, through the fog, which obscures all vision, you walk in a random direction, and very soon you have determined that you are walking in the direction of the highest point on this island.
Cool.
And as you're doing so, you begin actually the grass that's around your feet sort of just as, you know, it's an island. Grass. That's how it is. The sort of grass begins to clear away as you go up the hill, and you're just sort of standing on stone slopes with occasional dirt covered in grass. It's a very nice looking hill
That's a nice.
that you're heading. That
I was
you're.
looking for a church tower. How did I get up here?
That is a nice.
Well, this is the highest point, and you rolled a 14.
Touche.
Well, you're going towards the highest point. What's everybody else doing? Are you building a snowman?
Yes.
Roll for snowman.
Roll for snowman!
Performance. That would be performance.
What it?
I think so.
16
Technically it would be because you're trying to make a good snowman.
plus 6.
This thing just moved on its own, and it's going to burn in a few minutes.
Well, inside my closet is the perfect place for something to burn to death. All right.
It just moved on its own.
Saw it move.
What's your
Oh, your house is haunted.
Okay, that's not new knowledge performance.
Plus 6.
Plus 6? Okay. You roll a 22.
That's a badass snowman.
That
I made a snow elf.
it is the hit of the town. Everybody comes like they're like, how did you get
It's like
the
an ice sculpture.
how did you get the vertebrae so accurate? They say to your anatomically perfect Greek sculpture style snowman. The man from the night before actually comes up to him and says, "Listen, I have no idea who you are, but I love this snowman. I think if you choose to stay here for the rest of your life, you could become a very, very nice citizen of this place. Welcome to Ikhephu." He says,
Well, at least
after-
I have someplace
It
to run
takes 2
off to.
sticks and stick it right through the head to make horns, like antlers.
You do this from up the hill?
No, I got him down. I've been
You
coming
run all the way down the hill to the snowman.
I'm
And
not doing something cool.
Yes. I just run back like, this is not where I wanted to go, so I come down, and then I see the snowman, and then I take 2 sticks and make antlers.
How, you know how tall
roll
this thing is?
antlers.
Roll antlers!
These aren't actual rolls.
2. As you stab this snowman with the sticks, actually, what happens due to the fact that this is a very intricately crafted Greek statue style?
Florian's just standing there like, what the fuck, man?
This very Greek statue style snowman is constructed very painstakingly. As you thrust these in, what actually happens sort of is the weight of these 2 large branches you have thrust in just sort of topples forward along with the head, which splashes onto the ground. And every single person who was previously looking at the snowman just sort of turns towards you like, what the hell, dude?
The points of the guy that talked to us last night, and he did it, not me.
We all just watched you do that.
Not if I get a high enough deception.
The
Where is my do I not have my...
Is it charisma?
That's a really big number, and it's over 20.
Okay.
Hey, Matea, you know you can roll to know that he's lying. and just call him out on that.
Well, you have.
Well, would you look at that? It's a 17 plus the combined, the combined stats of everybody in the village to resist Bull, and they say, no, we just watched you do that.
Cool.
What the hell, dude?
I'm just gonna laugh for a few seconds and then throw gold.
Yeah.
Okay, I
feelings
Turn
now.
around and walk
the
away.
man from before says, now I don't like that guy, but he did give me money.
I don't give
So-
anyone money. I just throw a handful of gold towards them.
Well, he gave me money, he says as he's picking up the money that was on the ground. So, I'm gonna go with ambiguous, says this guy who is apparently the chronicler of who is good and who isn't in this town.
I only threw 10 pieces of gold out.
What if you haven't been doing anything, Karma's girlfriend? Luna. What would you like to do now this morning? What are you rolling for?
To find out who and what Skipper might be.
Well, that's what I was gonna do.
Why can't you can tell me that you're doing that and then
You're
you roll
talking
for
to
that.
him. So
Well, then I'll
I
just
would
do that then,
trust.
so we can stay on course and just like ask about Skip.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Okay.
that same thing. I got a 19 on a religion check.
Okay, you roll.
Shit. Religion?
Yes.
9.
Okay. Skipper is small, he is black, and he likes shiny things. That is the information you gain from the townspeople who know. And you already know what you learned last night. However, Aldrian. It's weird that your character name is also Aldrin. From this, from the townspeople, your impeccable charisma and the fact that apparently nobody remembers that you just murdered their snowman, or the ones that weren't there. You ask the one. No, here's what happens.
Ask people that were.
You ask the ones that weren't witness to the snowman, and their souls are a little bit. They're a little bit less whole that they haven't seen this amazing snowman once in their lives, but what they do, one of them just happens to be the oldest person in the town. That old man Bob probably had nothing on this guy. You compare his language is probably wrinkle.
Okay.
It looks like his first, middle, and last names are all Grant. And that he looked over fantasy investments portfolios in a fantasy bank for 70 fantasy years.
Fantasy.
No, you don't get to have that sort of relationship with this man. So, predictable joke aside.
You make a great DM, eh?
Thank you. Predictable joke aside. Nobody knows where Toad went.
Nobody cares about Toad.
I care about Toad. What do I learn about Skip? There's Toad.
Here's some prior information. While we were setting up this campaign, a couple of the people created out of Legos this incredible mutated evil Toad head, which is basically just sort of because Toad's head is just sort of a Mario mushroom, so it's weird that they don't just call it a mushroom on a stick. But that's not up to me. I'm not the arbiter of mushroom. So.
Back on track, here we go.
Skipper has been the subject of legend in this town forever. Longer than this guy's been alive, Skipper has been causing trouble. He loves everything shiny. He loves everything valuable. If you have it and it's personal value to you, maybe he won't take it. Nobody really knows what his whole deal is with what he values, but he grabs it and he takes it. A lot of times, though, and this is something that people never talk about, he never keeps it. He always returns the stuff back to, if not exactly where it was, somewhere close. Nobody ever talks about that. They just talk about all the mischief he causes, which includes, when it does come to the time where snow normally comes to these parts, dumping snow off the roofs of houses onto people, engaging in very, very quick snowball fights, just generally making weird noises in the woods to scare off kids. Just general trickster stuff. He sounds like a trickster god, but the man is careful to tell you he definitely is not. And the thing that's probably most important, he is real.
Cool. I give him 5 gold pieces.
Thank you, he says, as he's been talking out of character this entire time. I didn't directly quote him. I was paraphrasing him. All right. What does everybody like to do next?
I go to the nearest mirror and use it as a catalyst to cast Locate Person to find Skip.
You can do that?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna find Grim is going to find the nearest mirror and cast locate person using it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I'm gonna steal something off him.
roll for thievery.
8.
What's your stealing things off of Grim bonus?
17.
You get a 17. What are you taking?
Whatever I can grab.
I've got 2 sides
Okay,
on my
say something specific. I'm not
His
just gonna.
panties.
No.
Yes.
I'll just take his bag of coins.
Okay,
I don't
roll,
have money.
roll against this.
What do you have? What do you have? Tell me what you have.
I've got a cloak and 2 scythes, and that's it.
I'm gonna take one of the sides.
Okay.
Okay, roll against it. Okay.
Something stuck on you now.
Plus perception, I'm guessing.
Yes.
I suppose. What is that?
That's an 11 plus 7. That's an 18.
What did you roll?
I got a 17.
So as you try and take this scythe off of the Grim Reaper's back, he notices you and...
I don't care because I know that the moment you take it too far, it's just going to reappear.
Okay,
I'm gonna keep walking away.
you
with
yank
just to
it.
watch
You yank it from his back. It puffs, like sort of turns into a puff of smoke, which clears as it reforms on his back again. Do you go and be like, maybe I shouldn't do that a second time? Or do you just keep taking it and it keeps puffing?
I was like, that's cool. I want to try again, and I take it and take off running the other
And
way.
it puffs in your hand and reappears on his back.
Cool. Okay, I'm satisfied.
All right. Anybody got other things they're doing?
Where's Skip?
Oh, right. That thing.
Yes.
You. Why did I let you violate the talking order? He was an active player.
Because I'm a thief and I like to steal things. I just have the.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Homestuck song. I am a thief and I like to steal things. Anyway, roll. Okay, that's another thing that we're not doing anymore. That's not necessary. Roll for magic making.
All right.
Arcana.
I'm making up cool nicknames for every sort of stat because it's fun, and also because I can't be trusted to keep a list in my brain of every single one exactly as the original one was called. Everybody knows what I mean.
17.
17 plus?
Just 17 with the modifier.
Okay, you roll a 17. So as you cast this, put it down, Dessa, put it down. As you cast, everybody, as you cast this spell, sort of in the mirror, describe to me how this spell works.
It's normally locate person has a certain range. When I do it, since Grim has been imbued with the Death's magic, he can do it at any range.
All right, that's incredible.
Yes.
So that's. We're not going to dive into that, but you definitely have enough power to do the thing that you're looking to do. So as sort of this mirror sort of unclouds itself and you see in it the place where Skipper is, it's an odd sort of, you can't really tell what it is through the fog and stuff, but Aldrion notices it as the place that he was when he was on his way to the top of the village.
I say nothing.
I can also.
Okay, so remember the rule where we don't intentionally try and derail the campaign?
I'm not.
This is just his character.
This is my character.
He also took off running.
Well, he's still there.
still here.
It was comedy bits.
And then when Grim turns away to like say that he found nothing, I'm gonna be like there intently thinking, but like turned away, so like I'm not looking at the
Like that thinking emoji.
Yeah, but, like I'm not gonna be looking at the mirror, so I'm just gonna think for a few seconds. Grim, you say something.
Actually, with locate person, I can tell where it's at. So.
Fine, make this all. I had nothing, like I had nothing to the pizzazz, the power. Anyway, okay, it's uphill towards where you were in the city. This very small, tiny village with like 7 houses. There's like a hill that's right next to it that is a very short distance high, but it is the highest point in the town. That's where Aldrin was going. That is where Skipper is.
I'm gonna go there then.
Shall we be off then?
Already walking away.
Okay, so you two, I suppose, go on your own? Or do you inform the rest of the party, gather them up, and get going?
Hey, Luna.
I hear him telling everybody, then I just go. I don't wait for
Okay,
anybody.
well, he hasn't told everybody yet.
When he starts talking, I go.
Okay.
Hey, Luna, I found where Skip's at.
You did?
Yes.
Well, then let's get going.
Where's Florian?
Outside.
Could you grab him?
Just
Sure.
grab him by the antler and just grab
yeah.
him.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I wanted to make the stone.
Ow, 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 ow.
Stop with the snowman and let's go.
But it's my masterpiece!
You can work on it when we get back.
I don't know
No.
anything about monsters still. I gotta freestyle this.
Yeah, just use the monster manual.
I just read directly from the monster manual as we play.
I do.
That's my favorite.
Alright, that's fair.
Did you mean the husband catalog?
Oh my god.
Okay,
Still calling it that.
listen, okay, monster fuckers are valid. Stealing jokes from Tumblr is valid. Monster fuckers stealing jokes about monster fucking from Tumblr, not valid.
What are you? Where? Okay.
What?
I'm not getting into this debate because
Okay.
You get sort of like you're sort of bending the stick of valid, just sort of, and you're still on it. But if you do both of them at once, the stick snaps and you're not valid.
Ah. As I get to the top, I'm just gonna...
You're not okay. Here's the thing: it's not at the top; it's on the way there. That's the
okay.
thing. It's the slopes.
Alright, so when I get there, I'm just gonna, like, lean against a wall and just wait for them.
What wall?
Well, a sufficiently
Yes!
vertical sort of slope. You lean against it. You don't look all that badass doing it, but you think,
I don't care.
well, I've already
I'm
committed to this. I've already committed to this. I can't just not lean on it now. So you do that. So, Aldrion, as the rest of the team sort of makes their way there, you feel sort of, while you're leaning against this thing, something on top of it taps you on the head.
How would Aldrin react to this?
Who's there?
I'm gonna pull out my dagger and just, like, swing it to wherever it came from.
Hoops.
Yeah. I take out my dagger and just... I'm not trying to hit the person.
Oh, that's great. Okay, even if you tried to hit the person, you would not have. Probably. I mean, there's like a... Okay, anyway. As I suppose you turn around to see what this imminent threat to Aldrin's well-being is, you see sort of a very tiny being. Is about the size of... How tall is Aldrin?
He's, 5'10".
Okay.
6 foot.
He's probably about the size of your head and also half of your torso.
So he's at eye level with me. This thing is eye level at me right now.
Well, he's sort of like looking down on you from the top of the ledge that you were leaning against. His head is actually about half of his body height, and his body is sort of very short and stout. He's actually pitch black, and even though it's midday now, or I guess sort of mid-morning, as you look down at him, as he looks down at you, you find it very hard to distinguish sort of any sort of shadows whatsoever. He seems sort of like an animated character almost in how dark his character is. So you guys,
I
the rest of
recognize
the
this as Skipper.
yes,
right?
you recognize this as
Is
Skipper.
he wearing any clothes?
He's not. He doesn't
Just
really.
a small.
Yeah, I want to grab him by the
sailor's
scruff of his neck.
Hold on, you're
Like-
not done yet. We're not done with this yet. He does, in fact, have two very large eyes which blink intently at you, looking at you. You guys see this happening, and what also is the thing with Skipper is that he's sort of hunched over because upon his back he has about 5 to 10 wrapped presents just sort of bound around him in a makeshift knapsack.
That hoe.
You thief!
I'm gonna grab his leg and pull him and hang him from upside down. He's like, "Hey, I found Skipper."
Okay, roll. What is that roll? Dexterity.
Yeah, I believe that would be a dexterity roll,
Skipper, who I definitely have a character sheet for, is rolling dexterity. That is a 3.
which is a. Would that be a saving throw or a modifier?
Modifier.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Okay, hold on.
8.
Yeah, it's a 14, yeah. You do not successfully do that. Skipper leaps, sort of dodging your hand. He has done this many times before. It's almost as if, like, the weight of these things does absolutely nothing at all to him. Either that or he's much lighter than he would appear to be. And he sort of trots off away from you guys, and as he does so, sort of a bunch of snow just sort of falls, and where you didn't realize it would have been before is the entrance to a cave, which he just sort of hops in and runs down. And as he's running away, as you notice that on his back, the presents, the wrapping that they're in, the little the wrapping, the sort of ribbons that the bows are tied, are made out of a sort of like the thing that the wrappings and ribbons are made out of in the real world, and it is the paper and the like, and it is a silvery color and very, very sparkly.
Shiny.
They're right behind me, aren't they?
Yeah, by now they're probably right behind you.
So they've all seen this.
Well, okay. Hey, I know. Roll perception.
Yeah. 4. I can't see shit.
What's your
4.
Wait, what's y'all's modifiers?
9.
Oh.
Perception.
Did you legitimately roll a 4? No, you didn't.
I got a 9.
+2.
Okay.
16.
What's yours?
9.
Okay.
6.
You guys actually don't get close enough to see most of this. You do. You don't have to roll perception for it.
Obviously, I was there.
Grim, you have no idea what just happened. Something was there. Grim, you do see this thing run off with the presents and
Garbage.
hop into this.
Okay, I'm gonna turn, see that everybody is right behind me, and just figure they all saw it, and then run into the cave.
Okay. Grim, would you like to inform everybody, hey, that's Skipper and they just ran off with presents, or would you like to make a less smart decision?
First off, I'm going to say this. Where is he going?
After
you say,
Skipper.
You say to the thing that you... What do you say that to?
I say that to Florian and Grim, since they're the only ones with me.
Well, you didn't see it.
I'm talking about him. Where is he going?
You didn't...
I wasn't stealthing or anything.
Well, it's not like you were going anywhere either. You just sort of ran off, and
I
you rolled to see if you saw Skipper running off. It's not like Aldrin's running anywhere at this moment.
I thought he ran off to get
No,
Skipper.
I turned to look at all of you, and then I ran into the cave.
That's why I said, where is he going?
I ran into the cave after Skipper.
Okay, you don't do that quite yet. They see if they saw Skipper first, of which one of them did.
Okay.
Now that you guys have you've seen that. God. Here's me violating my rule, that Grim has seen it, and that Florian and Luna?
Yes.
Luna, that Florian and Luna have not seen it. Now you may do your action. Or you may, say, hey, that's Skipper, and he just ran off with a bunch of presents.
Did either of you see that?
I leave before he says anything.
Okay, roll leaving, because you're being such a...
I'm just walking away!
Roll for slipping on snow.
I don't know what the... 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, you don't slip on snow. You get really close. You do a...
You know that vine?
And you
where the guys
yes,
the
the
shovel?
dude with the shovel. You actually do you have any long implements on you?
No.
Like any staffs or scythes or spades or anything?
No.
Not at all?
I carry small weapons with me. They're easier to carry and quicker to kill.
Okay, I don't think you can kill weapons, but
Kill other people.
I know. Y'all are doing good. Yeah, you do a serious cartoony sort of slip. It was almost as cartoony as
My life.
No, as Skipper looked. You watch this happen and you just sort of hop into the cave, cut to the rest of the party. What do y'all do, having seen Aldrin just walk into a cave?
Did either of you see the thing that Aldrin just went after?
No. What?
Okay. I think that was Skipper. It looked, I want to say, like a halfling almost, except his head was half his body. He was freaky.
You give this very bad description of Skipper to your friends.
What?
He's never seen anything like it.
I'm questioning your sight.
And
Did you question our sight?
so you've said this to them.
Come, let's go figure out what the heck Aldrin's doing. Let's hope he doesn't get himself killed.
He's gonna get himself killed.
Or worse, expelled. But I said that joke before any of you guys could come up with it 2 minutes later and then yell it.
What do I see?
Yes, correct. It is indeed extremely icy. It's a very, very icy cave because it's a very icy place.
Is there stalagmites and stalactites of ice?
No, actually, there's not. Good of you to notice that. There's stalagmites and stalactites of stone. This is what happens when ice, ice and stone. No. What happens when ice and stone, stay there for a long time, and sort of water drips from it, becoming more and more stone-like and/or ice-like, forming stalagmites or stalactites, or as they are called for ice, icicles and. Hold on.
Spikes.
Ice. Hold on.
Icicles?
Frost? No. Hold on. Hold up. I gotta think of this.
And that's the end of the episode.
Bum, 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 bum,
It's
bum.
like, wait, says it, and that's the end of the episode.
He comes up with it at the end, literally.
Hold on. Stalagmice. No, that doesn't. Stalag ice.
Flag ice, cool. All right, what do I see when I go in before all of them?
Okay. It's very icy. There's stalagmites and stalactites made of stone, but the ice that is formed there is only actually a surface level covering everything in there, but not such that it's been there for years at a time,
Okay,
as can be seen in ice caverns and the like.
cool. I'm going to walk forward slowly.
All right, you walk forward, and as you walk, you sort of. It's quite dark, but I assume
I have dark vision.
everybody has dark vision.
I have dark vision.
Even if you didn't, you can see just sort of an oranger light ahead. So, and as you walk through, the cavern opens up, and there is sort of a very large cave room with a whole bunch of torches all over the side, very placed haphazardly like a 5-year-old Minecraft player, to make the Minecraft reference once more. These torches are all inset into the wall to light up the place. In front of you is still Skipper, who darts off into the distance, and just sort of darts off into darkness.
Can I possibly shoot a bow at him? Or shoot my arrow?
Try.
Okay. What? Why have thou portrayed me? 14.
14. You do get, I guess, roll damage?
You graze him.
Do I hit him or no?
Yeah, I guess you hit him. I don't have a character sheet for him. Yeah, you hit him.
Okay.
Roll damage.
What is it for an arrow? Bow and arrow? Do you...
Short bow or long bow?
Short bow.
D6.
6 points of damage.
You hit him, like, square in the back, and as he sort of falls and hits the floor, he just sort of, like, he was running into darkness, and as you hit him and he propels forward, he actually goes completely into darkness. You do hear, but you don't see him hit the floor, and as he does so, sort of, a lighter stone comes into view, and you realize that what's happening is there's some doors that were previously open into the darkness that you couldn't see, which are now slamming shut, and they do that, and they're now shut. And there's a very loud noise. You have to go.
Yeah. Just leaving. Everybody's leaving.
Luna breaks her leg on impact. She dies instantly. Oh no! Okay, that's gonna be weird.
Why do you have to leave?
Family stuff.
Okay, can you say that perhaps you don't you change your mind at the last moment? You're too scared to go into the place.
You know what? I'm gonna head back to the village. I'm gonna continue building snowmans for Florian. Nothing for you guys to worry about. It's not that I'm scared or anything. You guys have good luck on your quest. Whatever. See ya.
And Luna with a
And Florian from the ha pussy.
I am. And sorry, I gotta do the thing. And Luna, who is in a couple of special episodes, going to have a very tragic arc involving her entire family being slaughtered in a cave, because that's apparently how every backstory in this campaign is.
Hey.
Mine wasn't in a cave, and it was only most of my family.
Okay, so as apparently every backstory in this Greenhouse Tavern is, that's what will happen in the future. Mark my words. Alright, so Florian and Grim catch up with Aldrion as these doors slam shut. As they slam shut, there's sort of like it echoes. It is an incredibly loud rumbling. It's so bad. You think like, if we were on the side of like an actual mountain, there would probably be an avalanche and we'd all get killed. But there isn't because you aren't. What does happen though is from other darker depths of the cave, you hear some sort of stirring, grumbling sounds.
Who woke me from my nap?
And sort of from one side of the cave, sort of ambles. What ambles? Was that necessary?
Sorry.
What ambles sort of from the left side of the cave come two bugbears. Just sort of...
Bugbears are big, huge, fluffy dog-looking things.
Okay, here's the thing. We're not pulling a Klarg.
Dang it!
Oh, you don't think I knew exactly what you were planning as soon as you said the word bugbear?
What?
Okay, in the Adventure Zone, in their first mission early on, they fight this really powerful bugbear chief, and Taco successfully charms him into becoming an ally, and then he is a recurring character. We're not doing that because we're trying not to establish recurring characters all that much because this is a special episode.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna make it a special character. It was just gonna...
Okay, bring up the monsters.
Okay, definitely they just woke up. They're not happy about that.
Oh no.
And from the right side comes another one, actually. So you are against 3 bugbears. I need a battle tracking sheet. Somebody give me a piece of paper and a pencil. God, I was going to print that out. Okay.
Roll initiative.
Roll initiative!
5.
Finally.
12.
Well, I
What's
got
all gonna
19.
get? Okay, 19. There's a 5. There is a 9.
Florian?
Hold up. Florian is the one you should not be asking to do anything because Florian has the lowest
I'm level 10.
initiative.
But initiative is level 5. Just,
Okay.
I'm
No,
not
you just said some words. That's all right.
Did you roll
What's your,
initiative?
what?
Yeah, I rolled
Yeah,
5.
you rolled
What's
5.
your dexterity modifier?
4 plus 4.
So 9. I'm gonna take out 2 poison daggers.
Okay, one of the bugbears who is holding actually a very large morning star, which for those who don't know is sort of like, y'all know.
It's a spiky mace on a
Yeah,
chain.
it's a spiky mace, not on a chain. It's on the end of a stick. It's like baseball bats for adults.
Oh.
Like, if there is one thing, like, this dude has chronic insomnia. There is nothing this man has ever done except sleep. He was about to catch his first incredible Z's in, like, forever, and then y'all came in here with this little monster,
shit.
and like, that's how he looks. But the one thing he does not look is tired. He just sprints toward Aldrion with this morning star, and he assaults
You
it.
son of a bitch woke me up!
I use evasion.
Plus 4 to hit. So we see the plus 2 and then the plus 4 to hit.
Oh my god! You're on
Plus-
fire!
A plus
You
2.
need to roll
A
to hit me.
Okay. It's a 15, then it's a,
I still have
is that a plus
Just
2
the
for his
blast.
strength and then a plus 4, or is it just a
It
plus
would be
4?
just
Just the
plus
plus
4.
2. Wait,
Just
what?
a plus-
Let me see.
There's his plus 4 to hit, and it also, for the morning star attack, it has plus 4 to hit, and then it's got a strength modifier of plus 2, so that may I add both the 2 and the 4?
Just the 4.
Okay. That's a 19. What do you roll to not get hit? Is that a thing?
No.
Oh, right,
It's
your
just
AC.
your
You
AC.
have an AC.
He
What's-
hits me. I'm gonna use
Okay.
uncanny dodge though.
What's that?
Um,
Explain to the people who don't know anything about D&D.
I just take half damage, I think. Do I need to roll for anything?
You just have to see where it's coming from.
And I believe I would see a bugbear running towards
Yeah,
me.
we'll say that you do.
So I take uncanny dodge, so I only take half the points of damage.
Alright, I need a D8. Actually, need 2 of them. I must roll them at the same time. So that's an 8. And that's a 1, so that's a 9, so that's an 11, so you take 4.5 damage.
I'll just take 4 damage.
Yeah, you take 4 damage.
Cool.
You actually have half a hit point left in the mystical hit point dimension. One of your hit points has actually been clawed in half, and its brothers are actually crying out for it because, like, it's one thing to be a living hit point, and it's one thing to be a dead hit point. But to be a hit point who has been cleaved in half is to live a life of eternal torment as a hit point.
Oh.
Anyway, hit point dimension becomes canon in Greenhouse Tavern.
It is not. As the DM.
Wow!
It is not.
Thank you for that. I needed you to make sure that I wasn't joking. Just centering our audio a bit better.
I forgot Florian still has the Horn of Blasting.
Cool.
Okay, Aldrin, you are up next.
I'm going to run up to him, jump, and then stick my daggers.
He's sort of already there. I don't think you have to run up to him.
Well, I'm going to jump then and stick my poisonous daggers into his throat.
Alright, roll for jumping and sticking poisonous daggers in the throat.
Okay.
I assume that's
acrobatics, and then I roll the hit.
acrobatics and you roll the hit.
19 plus a 9, which is a big number.
28. Come on, use your dang brain. You
don't.
do an as it is called in some
Ariel.
as it is called in some form talking order. As it is called in some form of media, which definitely does not exist either in the real world or in Dungeons and Dragons. You do an acrobatic fucking pirouette off the handle.
Nice.
And roll the hit twice, I guess.
Yes, poisonous dagger. A natural 20.
That's an unnatural 20 for the listeners.
Unnatural 20, and then a 11.
You actually hit with one of them.
Okay.
One of them hits the other. One of them just sort of whiffs behind his neck. The other one you slash directly into his neck for. So,
that's 10 points of damage. He needs to make a Constitution saving throw
okay.
to not be poisoned.
What is
He makes an unnatural 20. I don't think he's poisoned. I think he's
not.
poisoned.
He's not poisoned.
We've got thick skin anyways.
Well, I mean, he got stabbed. I think once you've gotten stabbed, it doesn't matter how thick your skin is. It's already gotten pierced.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm down.
We're just okay. Don't take everything as a personal insult. We're having sort of player banter back and
I
forth.
know, but I am down.
Here. It's now Mr. Grimm's turn, having seen this all go down.
Heh. He takes one of his scythes out, which is two-handed weapon. He goes to the nearest bugbear.
Okay.
Would that be the one that Ed Aldrin also hit?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. He goes around behind him to gain flanking bonus, and then tries to hit him in the back.
Well, I feel like you should maybe roll something to get behind him to do flanking bonus. Otherwise, you can just do that whenever.
Okay, then.
That would just be moving.
All right.
You have
Okay.
a movement.
Then do that thing with your flanking bonus.
All right.
Flanking bonus is
Advantage,
yeah.
which is roll twice and take the higher of the two for those that don't know.
It's not alive! It's not alive! This quote comes to you from Flankenstein. Bra, 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 bra. Shoot, I closed the manual. I had a page. I'm fine.
I crit.
You crit?
Yeah, I got that 20 and a 13.
What does that mean?
That means I do double damage and sometimes magic stuff happens.
Okay, do that roll. Make your roll. I don't know what.
Okay.
What do you roll for your scythe attack?
For my scythe, I do 2d4s, and since it's been increased, I get an extra d4. I get an extra 2d4s.
So it's not just 2d4s and then double?
No.
So it's 4 d4s?
It's a total of 8 d4s because
Fire.
two of them's normal, the other two of them is necrotic.
Oh.
So how many do you need?
8
8 what's? Sorry?
d4s with my rolling dice.
1, 2, 3.
I got 19.
Okay, just roll.
Oh, he has. I forgot.
Oh, you just rolled all of them?
Yeah, a
Okay.
total of 19 damage, including doubling.
19 damage, including doubling.
Florian
You-
is wuss compared to you guys.
You guys do like this amazing double move, and as soon as that bugbear, like, you know, he has had like chronic insomnia all his life, but after this, he's gonna be sleeping real nice and not waking up again. That is a dead bugbear.
Did we kill him?
Okay.
You killed him.
Sweet.
And for a bonus action, I want to harvest his soul.
Okay then. Actually,
For
oh
abilities.
look here. Bugbears don't have souls.
Aw, dang.
I don't actually know. Is that a thing? Just
Whose turn is it now?
well, I don't know. What's harvesting soul? Do you have to roll for that?
Yeah. Typically against their armor class, and then I regain 1/2 of their challenge rating.
Okay. What did you roll?
I got a 14 plus spell 21.
Okay, you do harvest his soul. That's a 1 on challenge.
Okay.
This is
Can I have my
massively
pencil back?
massively underleveled actually. Okay. Nice
I have an extra pencil.
I
Whose turn is it now?
The next turn.
React to that.
The next of turn is the second bugbear, and he's holding with him a javelin. Actually, can you do something for me? Can you roll me 5d8?
yes. 22.
Okay, that is the exact same as the first one. Do it again.
All right.
Another one.
Another one.
5d8s. 20.
Okay, yeah, you are fighting some weak asses. So, it goes and it, I guess, hurls its flail towards you, Grim.
Okay.
And it is going to roll. Oh, yikes. So it's a +4 to hit. Yeah, it's he doesn't throw it. He rushes towards you and hits you with it, sort of stabbing you like it's a very, very big knife.
Okay.
Because everything is either a knife or it wants to be a knife.
Yes.
The Master of Knives, I don't think, is hit by a 15.
I am not. I have a 16 armor class.
Nice. So he
I have an armor class 25.
he frickin' whiffs it. It goes directly over your
He's
shoulder.
got proficiency.
Florian, it's your turn. Remember how I was like, hey, have your stuff planned when you're in the middle of combat and don't have to do anything. You look like a train conductor.
What?
With your hat and your hair and like the finish line flags.
Choo choo kaboo.
That's not a thing they say.
Choo
don't
choo,
care.
motherfucker.
I've created monster.
There's no dance.
I have no foot and I must walk.
Has
What's the closest one near me?
The one that just whiffed completely in trying to javelin the Grim Reaper.
I am going to use Cloud of Daggers on him. And
Cloud of Daggers comes from the weak ass. Okay, what's Cloud of Daggers? How's it work? Tell the people and tell them loud, because they probably didn't hear you say Cloud of Daggers.
Cloud of Daggers.
That's not loud. You can scooch forward if you would like.
I'm comfortable.
The microphone, however,
I'm
It's in.
sorry!
that's a lot better volume level.
Cloud of Daggers, finally. You fill the air with spinning daggers in a cube of 5 feet on each side, centered at one point you choose within range. Creature takes 4d4 slashing damage when it enters the spell area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
Okay, so you
I
would like
might cast it at a higher level. Hold on.
you would like to cast this on the bugbear who is in extremely close quarters with Grim.
I'll take that chance.
All right.
When you cast a spell using a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, the damage increases by 2d4 for each slot level above 2nd. I'm gonna cast it at 3rd level.
Okay, I don't actually know how level casting works. Just tell me what you have to do.
Give me 5 seconds. Just do it, and I will fact check things.
Okay, then just roll. I'm gonna roll it to cast it, because you need to. Don't I need to beat your own class?
You have to beat the bugbear's armor class and mine.
Okay.
Preferably not mine, but
17
okay.
plus
That
6.
beats the.
That beats.
Yeah, that beats pretty much everything, I'd say. You're gonna knife some people. You're gonna knife 2, actually. It
Nice
seems.
playing.
So hold on.
You want me to roll?
Oh, so Aldrin, you are just out of the radius of this spell.
Awesome.
70.
You have 3 level 3 spell slots.
Yeah, I know.
22.
Okay. Is that 22 damage to each thing?
No, just to him. Or you need
Okay,
to roll
yeah,
for the bugbear.
What do you mean roll?
Aren't you
What do I roll?
supposed to roll? You were
Oh,
the one
I am
casting the
supposed to-
spell.
God, I'm stupid today.
Just have him roll it again. It's damage, right?
Yes.
That's okay. Just go with 22. I don't really give a
Okay, so that's 22. He is in a bad way. He's not actually dead. This is a strong bugbear. He was just hit with a lot of knives.
boy.
A lot of knives. Was not dead. Not dead. Isn't dead. How are you? How are you doing, Grim Reaper?
Alive. Pissed off.
Okay, no infighting. You better have healing spells.
I do.
There's that. That's what happened. So, last is the third bugbear, who does not have any weaponry, has actually some very long claws, but you don't think that's going to do much. It's just sort of a character detail. Another character detail about this bugbear is that his face is not very great. Not most bugbears can't exactly be considered handsome, but this one is actually probably been in a real nasty fight in the past because there's an entire slash sort of across his entire left half of his face.
Yes.
There is no eye there. I mean, there's no biological eye there. He is actually wearing a glass eye.
How do you get a glass eye?
Well, that's when we play Greenhouse Tavern: The Bugbear Journey, we will find out. I'm joking. That's not an officially sponsored Greenhouse Tavern campaign.
Damn, bitch, you ugly.
Who's saying that? Is he going
So-
to do things? He does things.
How much health are you at?
57.
Okay, that I was gonna say you better be all right because this guy is gonna charge you. Because you're closest.
Okay.
He is gonna do a big punch.
Ouch.
How do I know if it surprises? A surprise attack. If it hits you with an attack during the first round. This is the first round. So if it
But
hits you...
he's aware of it being attacked. So
Okay,
it's not
but I feel
surprise
like-
round.
How do you measure being surprised?
Typically, the surprise round is the players go, but the monsters don't know they're there.
Or the
I-
monsters go and the players.
Apparently, it's got an
don't.
ability that deals 1 extra die of its damage when the bugbear hits with a melee weapon. And I didn't do that. So these already way too low-leveled guys are going even less hard on you.
Cool.
So he punches you real good, and he punches you with an 18. That was almost a 4. Like it rolled over the 4 and then rolled back to 18. That's an unnatural 20 to hit you. I assume that hits.
Yes.
How much is punching? What do I roll for punch?
It
It's
depends on is it an arm. If it's an unarmed strike, there's an actual thing. But if he's just like punching him, it's a 1d4 minus half or divided by 2, and then plus strength.
What is an unarmed strike, and how is it different?
It's
It's
just
like-
like a slap to the face.
And-
Slap or like hitting someone with the back of a blade.
Is that stronger than a punch?
it's 1 plus strength mod. So no.
So that's an unarmed strike is 1d4 plus strength.
No, an arm strike.
No, just like actually hitting someone. Is
He's
what-
gonna punch him in the face. What's the way that I can do that? That it deals it's the least wimpy.
2. What's his strength?
2.
His strength is 2.
Yes.
Plus 2.
So no, 4 points of damage.
That's 4 points of damage to the guy with 57 hit points. You guys are doing real terribly. You're gonna die any second.
Not only that, I can eat his soul.
What do you want to eat? The souls of this. A bagel. No!
2 bagels.
2 bagels.
I have these guys listed in reverse order. Next up
That's literally your character.
is once more Aldrion, who just narrowly missed being hit with like 50 knives.
Cool. I'm gonna go to the guy with the glass eye because I think it's shiny and I want it.
You're gonna run past the other guy who just whiffed at javelining.
I don't care. I'm going to the guy with the glass eye. I see shiny thing. I want it. They don't need it. They have no thing.
It
for
doesn't help
material
them
possessions.
see.
Yeah. So he gets an attack of opportunity on me because I run by him.
Alright, I don't know how those work.
Just roll like he's attacking me normally.
That's a 21. This dude is really good at hitting.
Yeah, he
Not
hits,
very good at doing damage, but he's real
He
accurate.
hits me. With
I-
the fist.
Can't really flip those. Oh, that's a 6. You take 6 points of damage.
Cool. I don't care.
Yeah, that's probably nothing to you.
It's not.
I should have made these guys like double bugbears. But we need to get through this campaign, so
I
it's
have to
fine.
leave at 5, and it's 4:43 right now.
Okay, we'll be fine. What? Okay, we'll be fine, I hope.
Alright. I'm going to jump up again, stick one dagger in his neck, and then try and forcefully remove the glass eye from his head.
Alright, roll to attack first. Do your attack thing first.
Attack. Where'd my die go? It's over here. That's cool. 5, 6, 17.
17, that will hit.
Cool.
Do your dagger thing.
5 points of damage and a Constitution saving throw. Because I'm attacking him with my poison dagger.
It's not doubled? Okay.
I'm not using both knives, I'm just using one.
Dude, before only one of your knives hit.
Hmm?
Before only one of your knives hit, and you rolled as if you hit him with 2.
That's
That was it.
because he was hitting him with 2. And
No,
one
one
of
of
them
them
missed.
So-
yeah,
that shouldn't.
I did that on
he
accident.
shouldn't be dead. Let's cut that out.
So there's a third bugbear there still.
Nope. No, we're not retconning all that. We don't
Okay.
have time to do that because now we have an even harder time limit than we had before. Let's. That's 5. Okay.
He needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Does he?
Yeah, because I attacked him with my poison dagger.
4. I think he's poisoned.
Yep.
What does poison do?
Every round on his turn, he takes 1d4 of poison damage.
All right. Does that start next turn or this turn?
On his turn.
Okay.
And now I want to remove his glass eye from his head.
All right. Roll stealth.
Stealth.
Or
I
not
don't
stealth.
care.
Sleight
I
of
don't
hand.
care if he sees me or not. I'm removing
Okay.
it from
Dexterity.
his head.
Dexterity then. I think.
Cool. 15.
Okay. Yeah. You rip that thing.
Yes.
It's not very difficult. It just pops right out. You now have a glass eye of a bugbear.
Sweet.
It's the eye of the bugbear. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da. We're meant to remind you of the Survivor song, but we're not actually going to imitate the melody because that's will be copyright infringement. Ba-da-ba. We're a band.
Da-da-da.
This is a very long ending of the song. Ba-da-ba. That's why I'm doing this. So, okay, I'm not doing this.
And that is the end of my turn.
That's the end of your turn. It is now Grim's turn. You just had a dude try to javelin you and completely, for the 17th time, whiff doing it.
And then you also saw me forcefully remove his eye.
Okay.
Yeah. You just, yeah.
I'm going.
No, that's a different guy.
No, didn't you say he?
No, this is not the guy with the javelin. There was a dude with a morning star, a dude with the javelin, and a dude with the glass eye. Javelin dude did not have a glass eye. What do you do?
I'm going to cast Necrotic Wave. It is a Grim Reaper version of the spell Thunder Wave.
Is it just black?
What'd it do?
It does the exact same thing as Thunder Wave, except necrotic damage.
All right, what
2d8s
is that?
2d8's necrotic damage.
Okay, roll to hit. Do you have to do that?
Yes.
Is it just hit one target?
It hits everybody within I want to say, 20-foot radius.
Everybody?
Yes.
You're gonna attack literally everyone in this cave. All right.
Is there a
Great way to get your
dexterity
payback.
saving modifier?
Yes, it's still safe for half damage.
Yes, I will.
Doesn't matter, I got a 9.
I'm still
Okay, you try your hardest. You cast you just reach deep into yourself and you pull out the greatest necrotic wave this world has ever seen, and sort of your magic sort of trips on the magic steps up to your magic casting hands, and it just doesn't happen. Doesn't come out.
Yeah.
You are done. You're done, boy. You're done. You're off. You're off the team. You are not on my tempo, and now you're not on my team. I keep making references to this movie I hate. It is now the turn of the bugbear with. Oh, would you look at that? The javelin. It's the javelin bugbear's turn.
Okay.
He takes the javelin. He stabs you again with it.
Okay.
He's a very complex man with a lot of
issues.
No, I was going to say a lot of different things that he does. He definitely doesn't just hit people. Yeah, whatever that was, it doesn't hit. He does not hit you.
Okay.
There's the end of that. He once again whiffs. He's not very good with this. He actually just started with it yesterday. You're interrupting his training session when he was sleeping. He was not being very responsible. Anyway,
Man,
it
you
is
suck at this.
now the turn of Florian.
Yay!
What would you like to do, Florian?
I am going to attack one with my rapier.
Which one?
The closest one.
Okay, that is the javelin one.
I have to do 1d8. Why the roll hit? That one!
You don't hit it. All right. The glass-eyed bugbear screams in pain.
I laugh.
Uh,
I laugh at his.
But I don't get a failure thing. I go to run and then I trip and fall on my own sword.
I'll write my house rule that if you get a nat 20 or nat 1, you do something really cool or really stupid, just something really. Yeah, you rush, but being a tree, you actually can't walk.
Very well.
You remember this for a second, and you trip on your own roots and just sort of fall over. You suddenly forget, though, upon hitting your tree head that you're a tree, and then you, because of that, forget that you're unable to walk being a tree, and you start to walk again. There's your cool thing. I'm joking, by the way. That's not how this. That's not how Ents work.
Florian.
That's not how Ents work. Hey, there's an ant right on this page.
An ant?
An ant.
Oh.
There's not an ant. We don't have ants in this house. Okay, this dude just rolled a 12 plus 2. I don't think that's gonna hit. Okay, this dude sucks at punching. It is now Aldrin's turn again.
Cool. I'm gonna smile and like, haha, I just took your eye.
Gotcha.
And
And that's all you... Okay, you better do some more stuff because we're on a time limit.
I'm
We have 2 more rooms!
Nope. 15.
15. Plus anything?
That's what it was.
Nothing. You don't hit. You suck at this.
Cool. Alright, I take 2 swings at him and miss both.
Okay, it is now Grim's turn. What would you like to do?
I take my scythe again, and I want to hit this guy that has tried to stab me twice with the javelin.
Alright, good move.
I got a 10 with the modifier,
10 with the modifier does not hit.
and then using my extra attack. Brain work.
Dude,
12.
a 12 does not hit. You don't hit with either of those strikes. You guys need to stop sucking. It is now the Javelin Bugbear's turn again. The Javelin Bugbear. He actually gets out his shoes and he does a complicated ballet routine. No, he hits you with the javelin once more. That's a 6 plus 2. That's an 8. Is that gonna hit?
That is a miss.
He really does not. This javelin doesn't like him. He strikes for the third time with the javelin. Does not hit at all. Just go straight to the ground. Florian, what do you do?
I'm going to use polymorph.
Attack it. Hurt it. Kill it. Move to the next room. God damn it.
Fine, dimension door. I'm going to get out of here.
Ass.
What's Dimension Door do?
It summons a door.
Well, thank you. What's Dimension Door do?
You can teleport to a different place.
No, you're not. You're not going to do that. Just attack it. Just do something to attack it. Come on. God.
Tasha's hideous laughter.
Okay, say that louder.
Tasha's hideous laughter!
Why are you guys trying to make this hell for me?
We're sorry.
I'm just not in the best of moods.
Tasha's hideous laughter. What do you do?
I'm looking it up right now.
Is it my turn after or no?
Florian stops to concentrate. It is now the first bugbear's turn again. I'm trying to get through this as fast as possible. Okay, it is now Punching Bugbear's turn. Punching Bugbear punches, Aldrion. I really didn't think you guys were going to take this long. Yeah, it's not going to hit. It doesn't hit.
Nope.
Why are these bugbears really do suck? They suck so bad.
High hopes, low rolls.
19.
I like how you know that you're next.
Yeah, and then that's not gonna hit either. So, wait,
You hit with one of them, right?
yes. 1 point of damage. Is this the same bugbear that I poisoned?
Oh yeah, it's taken 2d4 points of damage so far.
2 points of poison damage along.
Well, it had another turn that it didn't take the poison damage.
Well, that's why I'm just adding it here.
Okay,
So 3
it's
points
taken,
of damage total.
It's taken 2 points of damage that first time, 1 point of damage that other time, and then you just gave it 1 point of damage. Cool. Alright, that's how that is.
Okay.
It is
Grim?
punching bugbear, and then Aldrion. Yeah, it's Grim's turn.
Okay. Grim is going to attempt to hide to get sneak attack bonus.
Just kill it.
That's
Hit it.
It's a bonus action.
Yes,
he
as
has
a
it and
bonus
he can
action.
attack.
With which I have advantage. I got a holy crap that was almost really bad. I got a 28 to hide from them.
Okay, you now have your bonus. What would you like to do next?
I hit the javelin bugbear with a critical backstab with my sight.
Roll.
Okay, I got a 16.
All right, roll for damage.
Okay, it does max damage to him.
Max damage. What does
Yes.
that mean?
It means I just take and multiply I take the highest damage I can possibly get against him.
What's that?
It is 44s and then 2d6s.
Oh, he is so dead. He's like so dead. You actually killed him into the second dimension that you go in after you die when you're dead.
Okay.
Wish you'd done that to the other guy. But yeah, he's now dead. You now have only the punching bugbear.
I take scythe, remove head. Do I take scythe and remove head?
Do you?
Yes, I take scythe and remove head.
You take scythe, remove head. There's now separated the bugbear's head from its body. Cool. It's now Florian's turn. Have you got a spell up yet?
Plant growth.
What does that do? Can it hurt people?
It can. I can get to it. Sorry. I have a thing on my fucking phone. Why am I not using that?
Plant growth. No damage.
It doesn't do damage? I thought it did.
Nope, it grows plants.
What about the screaming thing?
It does do damage, but
Do
it
that.
does psychic damage.
Huh?
Psychic damage.
Do that then. It doesn't... Oh god, wait.
Do Thunderwave. Fuck it.
Then do Thunderwave. There is nothing stopping you from doing Thunderwave. That is great. Thunderwave, it is. Okay, explain Thunderwave to the people.
Jeez. Thunderwave. There it is. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out in front of you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from where you stand must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed.
Alright, so roll to cast it.
17.
Okay, you cast it.
Plus, 6 and 6 is 12.
12 damage?
Yes.
Okay. So it's been hit by 12 damage, so it's now reduced down. Cool. Alright. Punching Bugbear, as it is his turn now, turns towards Florian and hits with a special new attack that I definitely didn't just invent, which is specifically concerned with knocking trees out. That's a 17. Okay, Florian, roll a Constitution save.
Florian fails and passes out.
Okay, cool. We definitely did not need an excuse for Matea to leave. So it is now just Aldrion and Grim from the original 4-person party against this one bugbear. It is actually now the bugbear's turn. So, no, it's not. It is not. Bugbear just did his turn. It is now Aldrin's turn. Aldrin, do your thing.
Yes. Yes.
It hits twice, is what that said.
4. And then 4 damage total for that one. And is he also the one that I poisoned?
Yes. Yeah, that kills him anyway. He's dead. You guys have won my bugbear puzzle.
Yay!
Okay, you, the door actually opens.
I go through the door.
Hey, tech, recorder, editor, producer, composer, and for this episode, DM, Ace Smith here. Well, welcome to the Money Tavern. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have sponsors. If we did, though, this is where they would go. So, hit us up, Blue Apron. This was a very rocky episode in a lot of different ways. I worked on the story collaboratively with Aldrion, and I'll be doing the same in the future of the podcast, but this was sort of the first time that we did it, so that was new. We also switched recording locations and setups. I haven't DM'd for D&D in over a year, and I'm still sort of a Clint McElroy, I know nothing about what I'm doing case here, so that's why I'm so unknowledgeable about the game. Sorry for that. We were also on a tight schedule due to the new concept of fitting a whole story into one episode, and fitting a whole story into one episode, and people leaving in the middle didn't help much, but I did what I could. Anyway, I still think we ended up with a fine product at the end of it all. But with the release of this episode is also going to come the release of the soundtrack for the Raltoid arc by me, which includes every piece of music I composed for the arc, a couple of unused pieces, and the 3 tracks I made for this episode specifically. It's going to be worth some money, so if you want to go support us, and mostly me, because I do most of the work around here, but us in general, you can find it on acesmith.bandcamp.com as well as on my YouTube Sads channel. Speaking of which, in a week's time for this episode, as well as on my YouTube Sads channel. Speaking of which, in a week's time from this episode, episodes will start going up on YouTube at a rate of 1 a week until YouTube is caught up with the Castbox stream. So, if you're listening to this on YouTube, you're late, and will continue to be, as episodes will go up on YouTube a week after Castbox. Want in on that on-time release schedule? Check us out at the source. So, hey, as long as I'm totally not ripping off the Adventure Zone, you can also tweet about us if you feel the need and inform your followers of how cool we are. Use the hashtag GreenhouseCast, and we might figure out some way to put your name in the podcast. We have a few people. We'll see where that goes if anyone does it. It'll be fun. It will take a while. We record episodes in advance. We are currently just wrapped up recording episode 9 as I record this interlude. So if you do tweet about us, it might take us a while to put your name in, but we will try at the soonest possible convenience. Anyway, that's about it. Have fun listening, and remember to always watch your spell slots. Ace Smith out. You go through the doors. The torches behind you, actually, they die out. Torch in front of you, a new set of torches actually lights up.
Light.
And Skipper isn't there. There's some blood on the floor. He definitely got hit, but he, in the long battle that you guys just had, just ran into the next room. And what is in front of you is very odd. So across from you is another set of doors, which has already shut. Sort of next to each door is a panel, sort of made out of a glassy crystalline substance, completely flat, almost like the store window. Next to the one by the door that you entered through, there is a lever. This room, by the way, is very oddly shaped. There's different juts and crags of rock everywhere that don't seem to have much of a purpose. In the room, there's 3 pedestals sort of rising up from the ground. 2 of these pedestals actually have oddly shaped crystals as if they were sort of dug out and then sort of sanded off and smoothed in the shape that they were. So they're very oddly shaped sort of glass-colored crystals. They're decently sized, about like half the size of a hand, on top of each pedestal. And I reiterate that there is a lever next to the panel by your door.
I pull the lever.
Roll for lever pulling. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. You pull the lever, and out of that panel shoots a beam of light, which directly collides into the first pedestal's crystal, which then fires it off in a random direction.
I go up to the first pedestal and spin the crystal.
Actually, as you touch the light, your hand burns off. You're now dead because it was a burning light, and you're now dead. So turn the crystal. As you turn the crystal, you realize the genius of this is that no matter which way you turn the crystal, it will always redirect the light in the direction in the same way. So you are, as you turn it, even though, like according to crystal geometry, as you turn it, it's hitting from a different spot. The light is refracted in the direction that you are rotating it. So you can, in fact, rotate the light to refract in any direction you would please.
Okay.
And you would notice as you are turning this that there is no way that it can hit either the third pedestal or the light panel on the other side of the room because there's rocks in the way.
So there's an empty pedestal, and then
there's a crystal pedestal which you can hit, and there's an empty pedestal which you couldn't hit anyway.
Okay. So I can hit the one with the crystal.
Yes.
Okay. I pointed at the crystal.
Yes, it does that, and then that secondary crystal, it fires off in a random direction. And what sort of happens is I don't think you notice it at first, but as you try to walk forward, there is now sort of an almost completely invisible shield moving. You can't move anywhere further. You have been trapped in this area with this crystal pedestal.
Okay.
Aldrion, what would you like to do?
So, we're at the second.
The second pedestal is being hit by the light and refracting it off in a random direction.
Can I get to the third pedestal?
It can get to the third pedestal.
I get to.
You can get to the third pedestal. Only the Grim Reaper is trapped right now. Is he the literal Grim Reaper?
Yes.
No, he's one of Death's servants, though.
Ah.
So
okay.
basically, yeah.
A Grim Reaper.
Yes.
Alright, I'll just roll investigation to see what the hell's going on.
No, you don't. You know what's going on. It's obvious.
I got a natural 20 to figure out what's going on. I'll spin the gem.
Okay. I assume you spin it to point at the third pedestal?
Sure.
You spin it to point at the third pedestal, and as there is no crystal on the third pedestal, nothing happens. There is nothing on the third pedestal. You presume that it has either been taken, perhaps by Skipper, or something has happened to it. But as it currently stands, you cannot redirect the light into this glass panel. What would you like to do,
Okay.
Aldrin? As you're the only one who can do anything.
Yes. What should I do? And then I put the glass eye onto the third pedestal.
You have solved the puzzle. As you place the glass eye onto the pedestal, you find that it too is made with the same incredible geometry, and it will refract the light in any direction you please. And as it hits, actually, there is you hear a clunking sound, and you presume that the second pedestal has now been enclosed by another one of those invisible boxes. But as you were not there, you do not get enclosed in it. You are still free to move the glass eye.
Wait, I have a
You're free
plan.
to move the glass eye and also do whatever you want. I assume you would want to move the glass eye.
Okay, so I can't go back.
I mean, you can go back into the other cave if you want. That would sort of be derailing, but...
Isn't he trapped back there?
Well, he's trapped within an invisible box in the first pedestal. The second pedestal is now also in an invisible box, but as you weren't there, you were at the third pedestal when you hit it, that actually, you weren't trapped. So you're free to move about in the cave.
Cool. I'll just direct the light from the crystal eye to go to the last one.
Yes, as the third crystal pedestal can, in fact, reach the last panel. And as it hits it, both of the invisible shields lift, the second door opens, and you guys have solved my crystal puzzle, and you are free to walk through into the next room. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
Alright. You see sort of in the corner, like this drip of blood trail that sort of had where Skipper was. Skipper has sort of, it seems like he tottered along a bit into the next room and just sort of fell over and passed out, and all of the gifts are still attached to his back. And you are now in a very large, mostly dark room, but you can see Skipper's there perfectly fine. With all the presents on his back, completely passed out.
Okay. I walk up to Skipper.
Alright,
And
you are there.
I grab the presents.
You grab the presents. You have successfully grabbed the presents. The doors that you had opened by by redirecting the glass eye into the light through the glass eye into the panel, those doors that you had opened and passed into this next room, they now close. This is not relevant, actually. I assume you realize this to the fact that you have picked up the presence, and you're pretty sure it probably would have happened anyway. Mm-hmm. And the same sort of thing happens. Torches light up all around the room, and it is a much, much bigger room than what you had previously. Floating in the center of this room is something that is really cool. It is an enormous crystal, and what it's sort of, D20s, those things that you use in Dungeons & Dragons?
Yeah, I know what those are.
Whoa, what a coincidence. It looks sort of like two of those stacked on top of each other in an 8 shape. It's a crystal that is made out of the same glassy material that the previous crystals and the glass eye were made out of. It is also tinted a cold blue. The shape of it is it's by enormous, it is the size of a human being, which is very large for a crystal. And as it floats, around it is sort of a ring that's made of the same material. This is almost like it's one thing which has two pieces. One of it is this large 8, and this other one is this ring of crystal. And what is most striking about this, aside from the fact that there's a giant crystal floating in the center of this room, is that on one side of the center 8 crystal, there is an enormous crack. This is a very large crystal, and you could probably stick your hand into the crack. I just said that phrase. And it's sort of the ring, which would normally, you would assume, be floating normally, is actually sort of tilted as if something is weighing it down. And what it's tilted towards is the side with this absolutely enormous crack down the side of the crystal in it. And this, as the room lights up and this crystal is revealed with the crack in the side, all around the room, little dotted around, just in sort of on the floor at the walls, the big circular wall, since it's sort of a cave, are just dozens upon dozens of wrapped presents with their shiny, sparkly wrappings and bows on top of them, which have all been brought to this place, presumably by Skipper, where this giant crystal is floating in the center of the room. And in a new, different thing that would probably... It's surprising enough that all of the presents are here. Surprising enough that there's an enormous crystal in the center room. Surprising enough it's got a big crack on the side of it. It talks.
Sentient crystal.
What are you doing in here?
I just came to return people's presents.
That's all you came to do?
We were tracking down Skipper.
Nothing to do with, a frozen town or anything? You weren't here for that?
Nope, just the presents.
Wait, the presents are for the frozen... The presents are for the frozen town.
I assume so, yes.
Okay.
You're only here for the presents, and you're definitely not here for anything about a frozen town.
We come from the frozen town.
Well, I know you come from there. I feel like we established this. You're not going to try and, kill me to unfreeze the town?
Yes, we've come to kill you, mysterious person that we did not know exists. Because you are definitely the cause of this frozen land.
I mean, I'm just sort of a really cold blue crystal in an ice cave, surrounded by ice, with a bunch of ice-shaped stuff. I figured you guys would have made this connection by now. I've actually been orchestrating this whole thing. No, I'm just kidding. I guess you just are incredibly not smart.
Take my crossbow and shoot the crystal.
Before you can do that, it finishes
I'm going to shoot it.
its monologue that you know exists!
We're 2 hours.
We're not at 2 hours, are we?
We're almost at 2 hours. We're at 1 hour and 57 minutes.
Dear God, okay, it'll be edited down. It'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
My name is Efferosthe. I was once a mighty minor god. of mist and snowfall. Thousands worshipped me for my efforts. They prayed for me to give them picturesque landscapes, to save their crops from frost, to make winter safe. But one day I was attacked. Something, I still don't know what, assaulted me, and where it struck me, all my power leaked and drained away from me. It left me for dead, but though I was near powerless, I lived. And since then, I've slowly been rebuilding my power. I found myself in this cave. I started by freezing small things like rocks, then trees, and then entire caves. If I can freeze this whole town over, it will give me what I need to rise and become godlike once more. This imp thing, this skipper of yours, he's apparently been protecting this town for centuries, and seems to think if it brings enough gifts to me, I'll stop. But that's not going to stop me. And neither are you.
Roll initiative.
9.
17.
Also 9.
Alright. Wow, I really did write Florian, Adrian, and then Grim in that order, and it says FAG, doesn't it? Alright, I did that. I'll own up to that.
You go first.
Alright. Well, before you, I'm not going first.
Welcome to Boss Bash. Efferosthe casts Ice Storm. This is a god, so it's able to. A hail of rock-hard ice pounds to the ground in a 20-foot radius, 40-foot-high cylinder centered on a point within range. Each creature in the cylinder must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 4d6 cold damage on a failed save, or half on a successful one. Hailstones turn the storm's area of effect into difficult terrain until the end of your next turn.
I shall use my evasion ability.
So, as Efferosthe screams out Ice Storm, nothing happens. It seems Efferosthe does not yet have the power to cast this incredibly powerful, strong spell.
Ha! Loser!
Aldrion, it's your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna...
That was a nat 1, by the way.
I'm going to load 3 arrows into my short bow and fire them all right at Efferosthe.
Alright, I'll only have you roll 1 hit, but it will have disadvantage, because you just shot 3 arrows from your bow.
Cool. 3. 3.
Yeah, that's a 3. You don't hit. Those don't. Why'd you think that was a good idea, honestly? Bows are not made for firing 3 arrows. There's bows that are, but that's not one of them. It is the turn of Grim.
Okay. Grim pulls out his scythe, goes up to him, and hits him in where he thinks his head should be.
So the top of the 8?
Yes.
It doesn't really have a head, it's just sort of a being. Doesn't matter where you hit it, I think. So hit me with that roll. Give me that roll, man. Give me that good roll.
22.
That 22, okay. 22, I'm gonna say it hits.
Okay.
I don't have a character sheet for Efferosthe either.
22 does hit.
Yeah. 22 hits.
He takes 8 damage, and I regain 4. Yay.
Nice, I mean you need that, right?
Not really, but... And then I use extra attack.
Ooh, extra attack. Alright, do that extra attack on that Efferosthe.
12.
Boy, I'm butchering that pronunciation. 12 is in points of damage.
12 as in I rolled a hit with a 12.
That's not gonna hit anything.
Dang it.
Sorry. It is now Efferosthe's turn once more. On a cold. Its hands, I guess. So from the ring surrounding it, which sort of begins to spin. It sort of already was spinning, rotating around it.
Faster.
Spins a little bit faster. And from it, just sort of across and downwards, that's how the cone is generated.
Okay.
It's gonna hit y'all both because it's a 60-foot cone. So, Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Deal.
Constitution...
He takes full damage.
16.
Okay. You take 8d8.
Mm-hmm.
Roll that.
That's a lot of dice. 38 damage.
Oof. How much does that put you at?
Like 43.
Okay, you're fine. Okay. Roll 48 for your damage.
24.
24.
Yeah, take 24. What's your hit points then?
I don't know, something around 30. How much was it?
24.
24. So 30.
Alright. It is now Aldrin's turn.
Cool. I'll just shoot one arrow at her. 18.
Cool, that's a hit.
D8 or D6?
It's your thing.
Long or short?
Short.
D6.
5 points of damage.
5 points of damage.
Okay.
You hit, you sort of realize the extent of Efferost's injury as you realize these, like, normally weak attacks are actually affecting it pretty hard. It is now Grim's turn. Do your thing, Grim.
Alright. Grim takes his scythe and aims for the crack. He got a 23.
And you had to say that. You, of course, had to say he aims for the crack.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, 23 is gonna hit.
Okay.
Sorry about that large swing to the left of my voice there. I was just, or is it to the right? Probably to the right. Large swing to the right of my voice there.
12 damage. Regain 6.
12 damage, regain 6. Nice.
I hit for 12 and regain 6. And that... Does anything happen to the crack? Does it grow bigger or...
Well, I mean, it's not like this... That's actually a good point. Something sort of interesting happens. You probably think it's only about as relevant to you picking up, to you hitting it as the doors were closing relevant to you grabbing the presents, but the crack is actually steadily growing. Not very fast. Not fast enough that you were able to notice it until you leapt up and hit. Steadily growing a little bit smaller as it goes.
Okay, I hit the crack again.
Oh, you can do that?
Yes, he has extra attack. And he misses with a 9.
Alright, you don't hit somehow.
Okay, I'm then going to step back and brace for an attack of opportunity.
I mean, you would have had to jump a bit in the air to get this, so I assume you would naturally step back.
Yes.
Since you're kind of gonna... Gravity makes you do that.
Wax me.
By the way, I've probably already said he a couple times. I've now said it. Aldrin has said they a couple times, and she, I think. Efferosthe has no gender at all. Efferosthe is an agender icon. That's canon.
Okay.
Okay. Efferosthe lifts up a boulder, sort of, with magical intent. Or magical use and with murderous intent, and just sort of hucks it at Grim.
Okay.
For, I'm gonna say 2d6 since I don't know.
And a roll to hit.
And a roll to hit. An 18. That's gonna probably hit.
Ah!
You take 6 damage.
Ah.
You're gonna be fine. Like, once again, this is not a heavy attack. This is not as powerful as the magic was, and just as mighty as this Efferosthe seemed, you're beginning, like, you sort of are starting to realize this isn't very much of a threat. It could have been, but you seem to got here just in time. It's not really going to be much of a major threat. This thing was once a god. Whatever hit it really did nearly kill it.
Okay.
Alright, so Aldrin, it's your turn.
Okay, so noticing that he's going for the splits in the crystal, the crack in the crystal, I will fire
God, I
an
hate you
arrow.
guys.
I will fire an arrow at it as well. Natural 20.
Ooh! You double damage, I guess.
Yep. 7.
That's an
8. Yes.
That would be 8. 3 plus 5 is not 7, everybody. It's 8 damage, and it's a real hard hit. What's our recording time?
2 hours, 5 minutes.
Okay, we've got till 2 hours 10. This once again is like a real bad hit. And if there was any degree of intimidation with this thing, you think you've lost it. You think that this thing is probably not actually as powerful as it seems.
Okay.
Efferosthe is going to cast Chromatic Orb at you. And I'm not just reading these out of the player's handbook. That would be stupid. Which is a 90-foot range, 4-inch diameter sphere of energy that can be a lot of different types of orb. This one is, of course, going to be cold.
And murderous.
Cold and murderous. No, but like type of attack is cold type. I don't know. Efferosthe doesn't have anything for ranged, so I'm gonna just roll as a spell attack. That is a 12.
Okay, that is a miss.
Alright, the chromatic orb flies actually past you, crashing behind you and creating a dangerous amount of cracks in the ice.
Okay.
It's not like it's going to collapse into water. If it breaks, it's just going to be stone underneath. But dangerous for the ice, not for much else. Make that clear.
Okay.
Me?
Yes.
Ian? Alright, I'll go again for the crack in the crystal. 14, 19.
Alright, that is a hit. Roll that damage.
6 points of damage.
Wow.
Okay. I get back and cast Flaming Sphere centered on Efferosthe.
And do that, I guess. And give it advantage on that hit because...
Okay.
Actually, no, it's going to hit.
Okay.
No, it's not. Just advantage on the hit.
And probably
I got a
also
22.
Alright.
And then extra damage too, because it's fire.
Yeah, it's fire.
Okay.
Fire against ice, so you get advantage and extra damage.
Okay.
How much damage is that?
If he's within 5 feet, he takes 2d6. If he's inside, he takes 3d6 fire.
If he's what?
If he's inside, he takes 3d6 fire damage.
So we're going to call that 4d6 because he's inside and...
Made of ice.
Made of ice.
Okay. He takes 15 points of damage.
Yeah, that... As you hit Efferosthe, like, gradually, as you keep hitting Efferosthe, they're sort of been less... If you ever seen something float when it's spun in space, the way it just is very steady, and if it's sort of tapped, it'll start wobbling off its axis. Mm-hmm. Efferosthe has been doing this sort of more and more and more, and it almost stops, and it's weird because it seems like the wobbling is independent of the floating. It's sort of... Efferosthe is still floating, but it is completely sort of stopped wobbling at all, and it just sort of unceremoniously almost. It's not powerful. There's no crescendo. There's no real like moment. There's no scream. It just sort of sinks to the ground and stops floating. And you have beaten my Efferosthe puzzle.
Yay!
Yay.
Time to return the presents to the people.
All right, we're gonna cut to the outro, which is what we were gonna do anyway. But as the entire party is on the boat, which has been repaired with the help of the now recognized as benevolent skipper, who has been protecting this town for centuries, and the aid of the people who have gotten all their presents returned to them. As you can see, the presents all in their little stacks outside their houses, because you can now actually see the town from the ship as all of the fog has cleared up and the snow is beginning to melt. They're sort of all waving, because they do like a sort of fanfare goodbye to you. You guys kick off. You're floating off into the sea, and there is, you're gone. You're out, and everybody's waving, and they keep waving, and eventually a couple of them turn back. Most of them stay waving until you can't see whether or not they're waving anymore.
Okay.
And there's game.
Cool.
That was far more tedious than it was supposed to be. Sorry.